So the one thing that's keeping traditional media alive
is us. We are back. Don't edit this out. He hasn't done his homework.
all the films that were there this year. I didn't know any of them were up, and I don't know who any of them are. Who's Tonya Harding?
If anyone at Channel 7 Breakfast is watching, he has officially come for my job. That outfit is sickening.
I've had absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Well, your eyes glass over 50% of our conversations anyway.
You're getting ripped off.
Oh my God. Okay. Obviously, they're very different dresses, but you can see the similarity was the textile. So they were both in feathers.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw the similarity of the textile.
Season 2 of No Utes, we
Yeah.
couldn't let it go just with season 1. We had to come back and jump into the pop culture, the sport, the fashion of it all, right?
Yeah, and there's been plenty happening. Like F1's has landed in Melbourne. Footy's back, which is exciting. I think Melbourne comes to life when footy's back. It's very exciting in my world, but I think your world's the one that's really taken off the last month or so.
Yeah, so like we thought probably like from the perspective of like No Utes, we could start to really sit down and like decipher each other's worlds and like kind of give each other a bit of an update on what's going on and explore what we think has the most merit, which obviously I'm always going to think is fashion and pop culture, right? We have now just wrapped Oscars. And to be honest, mate, it wasn't the best award season I've ever seen. For those listening who don't understand, award season is essentially where the culmination of the biggest films of the year are then nominated for their various awards. So everything from the ACTRA Awards to the Golden Globes, and it all culminates in the Oscars. And what happens with award season is red carpets.
Oh, people win awards.
And what happens?
Before we even get into the red carpet, I want to touch base on a couple of things. So
Sure.
the Oscars in the 90s would have 50 million viewers. It now has around 20 million viewers. Hollywood is the best at the world at dropping a blockbuster and engaging audiences. Why can they not get their award season right?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's accessibility. It comes down to accessibility. And so viewership is so varied now. Like there was obviously, when you go traditional viewership, it was obviously on broadcast television, right? So there wasn't as many options to be able to consume your media. That's not necessarily specific to Oscars. That's across the entire media landscape, right?
Yeah.
So now we can watch everything in the palm of our hands. We have the ability to watch in real time. So I think that and this is maybe more of an educated opinion, this is not factual, where a lot of the viewership is dropping off is the fact that we are so immediately accessible to so much of the information that we're looking for that why would you go watch it on telly? Gen Z is not turning on the TV and watching the Oscars. They'll be like, I'll see the highlights reel on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Right?
So the one thing that's keeping traditional media alive
is us.
No, is live sport.
It's live sport.
Honestly, live sport is the only thing that genuinely engages the consumer in terms of logging on to traditional media.
That is true.
Which is crazy.
Award season, as we were just saying, I want to jump into it because you and I were having a conversation offline and I found some real merit in the conversations I was having at work at Channel 7 this week and across a few different platforms that so many people didn't actually understand that the red carpet is not actually just the business of a celebrity putting on a dress and attending an award show, but a significant marketing strategy and an extremely lucrative business model for a multitude of different people that are involved in the process of a celebrity like Nicole Kidman stepping onto the Oscars red carpet.
And so this blew my mind when you brought that up.
Okay, so before we get into the business of red carpet dressing, who are your top three looks from award season? It doesn't necessarily have to be Oscars. Award season goes to 3 months.
No, we've just gone Oscars.
Okay, just got Oscars because it's probably the only one you know.
It's probably the only one.
Who are your top three? Come on, do my job.
So I had a top 3 girls, top 3 boys.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I went Tiana Taylor.
Yep.
Thought she looked
splendid. What was she wearing? What designer was she wearing? Do you know?
Did she have Louis Vuitton on?
No.
No.
Okay, describe her outfit to me, how I would do it on Sunrise.
We're going to have to pause here because I have forgotten what she was wearing. Tiana Taylor. Sorry about that.
Don't edit this out. He hasn't done his homework.
No, I have.
Look at him. He thinks he can do my job with his eyes closed.
It was the all black look, bit of zebra in it.
Zebra?
Some frills off the side. And I just thought she looked graceful. It was a traditional like ball gown outfit. And I just thought she looked splendid.
I thought she looked like she robbed Tonya Harding. Okay, who's next?
Who's Tonya Harding?
Google it. Who's next?
Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
I just thought she looked traditional, chic, classy in Chanel. Followed by a bit of Chanel jewelry.
Oh my God. If anyone at Channel 7 Breakfast is watching, he has officially come for my job. Okay, number
Yeah,
3.
I thought she was outstanding. Number 3 was another Aussie as well. And I'm not being biased here. I don't have any interest in the Aussies in terms of what they're wearing on the red carpet and who looks better or anything like that. But I thought Rosie Byrne was...
She looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
She was actually my best dress tonight.
I thought she was number 1.
Okay, describe her outfit for me.
Well, I'll describe it. It was black and white with a few florals on it, which I quite enjoyed. It's obviously spring over in California at the moment.
Oh my God.
The blossoms are blossoming.
Give her-
But I just thought she looked, when I think of the Oscars, I just thought she looked traditional, and that what she was wearing won't ever outdate.
I'm actually really proud of you because, do you know what? That sounds like actually a very educated opinion. And in more words or less, I said the same thing about Rose Byrne, mate.
Did you?
So you
I
have
can
learned a
honestly
lot
say-
in your summer break.
I can honestly say I did not watch you pull it apart on Sunrise either. But I always say to my wife whenever we had to get dressed for awards, and she has just very clean style, and she would always say to me, you just have to wear something that's timeless and it'll be fine. And then the boys, I just thought, I like traditional. I like just sick, sleek suits. I thought Jacob
Elordi. Yep.
looked very just dapper
Man
in
of the
what he
moment.
was wearing.
Homegrown Aussie talent as well.
Ryan Gogler?
I thought you were going to say Gosling.
What's his name? No. He looked very nice in just a sharp suit, white top, white bow tie.
Oh, yeah.
But Damson Idris,
He's very cool.
his jacket
Yeah, epic.
was elite.
Would you wear a brooch? Say you had to go to the
Uh,
Brownlow again next week and that was your big red carpet of the year. Would you put a brooch on?
No, because that night was a long night, many a times. Would I wear a brooch? If I was going to the Oscars, I'd probably wear a brooch.
Would you wear a brooch to the Brownlow if you were going in 26?
Not in Australia.
Nah.
And you were saying red carpet is now a profitable business
Correct.
for these actors and actresses. I'm sure that the blue carpet is now becoming profitable for some players in the game.
It'd be very interesting to see what happens this year, but that is a great segue. Let's discuss what the red carpet actually means from a marketing financial perspective, because so many people actually don't understand that the red carpet in itself is now just as much of a business of the film and television industry as the actual productions in themselves. So essentially what the red carpet does for a brand is it generates something called MIV, which is media impact value. So the brands, the biggest fashion houses, the stylists, the agents themselves, and of course the talent are all in on a wider deal that generates MIV. So these celebrities, these actors and actresses become essentially walking billboards for these brands. And it comes down to a tiered sequence with the biggest stars on 7-figure deals at the top of the tree to more emerging or young talent who sit at the kind of bottom of the pyramid who are starting to leverage relationship and brand building to ultimately then generate a financial deal.
If we're going to put names in, who are your A-list stars that are getting the 7-figure deals to walk a red carpet?
So, for example, like a Nicole Kidman
Yeah.
for Chanel would be on a 7-figure deal to walk the red carpet, but that's not necessarily just for the red carpet. So as a face of the brand where she sits at the top of a pyramid, that's an all-encompassing, always-on contract.
So she's always got to wear Chanel.
That will encompass not just her appearance on the red carpet wearing the designer, but will encompass a myriad of different things. So within her contract, she could have something that is she has to have a certain amount of attendances at their fashion shows in Paris. So that she'd have media commitments. They would be able to use her image and likeness throughout advertising material and campaigns.
So are these brands happy to have a flop because they get more airtime?
A flop how? What do you mean by flop?
So a worse dress?
In my opinion, I wouldn't necessarily put the words in the designer's mouth, but in my opinion, and for me, having styled celebrities for red carpets for so long, I would prefer to be on the best or the worst dress list. I never, ever wanted to sit in the middle. Because
I've always wondered that.
The middle and the nice, it's the forgotten. You can be the best and you can create virality around the best for a reason, or you can be the worst and create conversation around being the worst for the reason. But either way, you're in the media cycle, you're being spoken about, your work is being recognized, and the designer is being recognized, whether it's for the good or the bad. Generally, obviously, you want to be on the good, but you never want to sit in the middle.
So what blows me away is that I had to look at the movies or the films that were there this year. I didn't know any of them were up. Cinemas died in the sense of I go to the cinema and there's 10 blockbusters a year because of Netflix and Disney and Paramount and all that. They can just roll them out whenever they want.
Yeah.
And still going to the cinema is one of the great things. But has the red carpet now become more important to these events than the actual award ceremony? Because ultimately, not many people follow the awards as such.
I think it depends who's benefiting from the award season within itself. So, for the sake of the fact that designers, stylists, agents, and celebrities, the red carpet is now more important because it represents an iteration of their entire business ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, their income is directly impacted by their red carpet appearances. Now, the film and TV industry would like the virality of the red carpet, but ultimately they want bums and seats and tickets sold. So
Yeah.
it's different. But from a fashion industry perspective, from an agent's perspective, and of course, from the celebrity's perspective, it just offers an alternate revenue stream.
So I want to know, is there a hierarchy on the red carpet?
Absolutely.
And how does it work? And who flexes their muscles? And is there a lot of games behind the scenes to make sure people arrive at certain times? And
The muscle flex comes down to ultimately the virality that they're going to create in a new age media landscape. So the OGs and the icons, your Kate Blanchetts, your Nicole Kidmans, your Leonardo DiCaprios, they will always hold precedent.
Yeah.
But then what we're seeing now on the red carpet, and especially from the perspective of MIV, is there's been a huge shift culturally into the young up and comers. So like the cast of Love Story, the cast of Heated Rivalry, because these shows are so immensely popular and having an instant impact on pop culture.
Yeah.
The way in which we're dressing, the way in which we're integrating vintage back into our wardrobes from Love Story from the 90s, the products that we're using, these young up and coming actors and actresses have so much power in their audience.
so do you feel like there's a real shift in Hollywood at the moment because of the way things are marketed as well?
I think that there's always a place for both the new and the old guard. The old guard will always have authority.
Yeah.
What the new guard has is the ability to very quickly engage with a highly digital audience.
So who's number one then on the carpet? Who's the top of the tree?
I break it down in like 4 key categories. And this is where it comes into like the financial negotiation and contract structure as well. So the first is the face of a brand.
Yeah.
So the face of a brand is anyone who has full campaign work with paid assets and advertising. The ultimate goal is always the billboard. No matter what happens, if you're on a billboard representing a brand, you've made it.
Yeah.
Like Margot Robbie right now, you can walk through Sydney Airport and you can see her on billboards for Chanel.
Yeah.
That is top tier talent negotiation. Second down from that is what we call ambassadorship. That's paid partnerships that can include paid usage of media, but you're not necessarily on billboards or in like traditional magazine advertising, that kind of stuff. Then you've got a tier down, which is called the friends of the brand. And so the friends of the brand are extended dressing deals, but there's no ads or anything like that. You kind of affiliated with. There might not be exclusivity either. Those 2 tiers above will always retain exclusivity.
Yeah.
So Margot and Nicole are tied to Chanel.
Yeah.
They can't go and wear a competitor.
Yeah.
And then you've got one-offs. So they're just like paid appearances, which is a great way for like brand building.
Yeah.
And so if I was still working as a stylist, so let's say Carrie,
Yeah.
mutual friend of ours and a good friend of the podcast, Carrie Bickmore, and I wanted to build a relationship with Louis Vuitton, you could do one-off appearances with Carrie in a paid capacity that were just like, okay, cool. Like there might not necessarily even be a paid capacity. There might be one opportunity that's much less lucrative,
Yeah.
but it assists in you growing kind of up through the pyramid to then maybe end up as an ambassador or a face of the brand.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got unpaid appearances.
So who would be number one?
Who would be the number one?
In Hollywood right now, who'd be the number one?
Well, okay, I'm going to like reverse engineer the question for you. Who do you think are the number ones? So who are you seeing as the biggest faces of global brands right now?
I still think like The Rock is nearly the biggest thing in Hollywood. I think you could put him in front of any face globally and everyone would know who he is.
Well, if I was to leave Hollywood for a second, Lewis Hamilton is now the biggest. And about
to destroy his sporting career. I've never seen anyone end up with a Kardashian and go well in sport after.
He should call Timothy Chalamet. They can compare notes. But ultimately, Lewis Hamilton, he's making waves right now as the new global face of Lululemon, with also within his own collection.
Yeah.
So that's massive. That is next level face of the brand, because in deals like that, how I've seen things work in the past, and I know from experience, is that he will be getting paid as the contractual face of Lululemon.
Yeah.
But if his manager has done the deal, in which the only way I would assume it would be done is that he would then be taking a clip on the ticket of every unit sold of anything that has his name on it.
He'd have to be, wouldn't he?
Of course. Well, that would be a very good deal done.
Yeah.
And so
like
for him,
the Michael Jordan deal of the 80s.
Correct. There it is. I've debunked the dirty secrets of the global red carpets.
So we thought season 2, we need to add a couple of little things into the show, and we're going to have a game. He said, what now?
We want people addicted to these games.
Yeah.
Come back
Yeah.
fortnightly and listen to
And
us.
we're happy to be bombarded in our DMs with certain things because you come from such a different world to me. And there are so many sayings or little terms or phrases or words that are in our lives. And I want to get to know some of yours. And you want to maybe get to know some of mine.
I feel like sometimes when we're in conversation, we say shit to each other and just pretend like,
Mate,
you know, like just like
seriously,
nod your head and pretend you understood.
Just when you said potato bataga, like seriously. Mate,
We could do a
but
whole
it is.
segment on me just making you to pronounce brand names that aren't from
Mate, when
Lowe's.
I first met you, I thought you were Chinese. You were speaking that much Mandarin. So fire away.
Okay, so he said what now? A segment in where we bring words to each other from each other's worlds and try to make them integrated into a sentence. So I've got 3 words that I want you to attempt to integrate into a sentence.
Christ.
You have heard me say all of these I know for a fact.
Okay.
So let's see how you go. The first one, define it and then use it in a sentence, all right?
Okay.
The first word is sickening.
Sickening.
Define it.
Just define it like terrible. That's a horrible outfit. It's sickening.
The polar opposite end of the spectrum, and you're going to fucking lose your shit at this. Sickening means the exact opposite of what you just said. That outfit is sickening. I've never seen her look so good in my life. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Is that a stylist term or a gay term?
It's a
What
gay
is that?
term. It's
Yeah,
definitely
right.
a gay term. And you're like, oh my God, sickening. Like, it's
Yeah.
so good, it made me sick.
So a little bit like in football when we say you're a sick.
Yeah,
You're a really good person.
Yeah, okay, see, that's a good, see? Look,
Yeah.
the worlds aren't as far apart as we thought. Okay, the second word is, there's a bit of a theme going here. You know, they all kind of involve health. Okay, the second one is gagged.
I'm not answering that.
No, you have to define it.
Gagged. The definition is you are unable to speak. Elliot has been gagged.
By?
Bitch.
Oh my God, this is a family podcast. Get it together. Okay, Elliot has been gagged by those shoes. Those shoes, I'm gagged.
What's
Can't
that?
speak.
They're terrible.
They took amazing. They took my breath
Oh,
away.
amazing.
Gagged, gaggy. Oh my God, that film was gaggy. It means
Yeah.
kind of like it took your breath away.
So if you've used that in a sentence around me, I've absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Well, your eyes glass over 50% of our conversations anyway. I'm struggling to retain your attention for this first episode back in season 2. Thought you would have missed me. Okay, and the third one is slay.
Slay.
I don't personally love this because I think it's overused and it's very Gen Z. I don't personally use it at the ripe old age of 34.
Slay.
Yeah.
So someone that's very good at picking up people and they slay a lot in terms they have.
No,
lots
I
of
know where you're
sexual
going with that.
activity.
Significant sexual activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's maybe more for us. Like, I think that's our millennial terminology.
Well, that's our generation.
The Gen Zers are saying slay as like slay. Like,
What's slay mean?
do you know what? I need to actually tap in
Like
our dear
Santa
friend
slay.
Eugene Canty, who shot all of our
yeah.
imagery for No Utes. He says slay all the time. And
How
no,
old's
it's not
Eugene?
Santa's slay either. Slay is like, how is slay? Hold on. How old are you, Charlie? Okay, can you use slay for me?
Another day, another sleigh.
There we go.
What's that mean?
You just won. It's like win, isn't it? It's like slay.
Another day, another
You'd be like,
slay. I
see, there we go.
I can guarantee
Slay.
you I'm never using that.
Gen Z listeners, of which we have probably one,
Yeah.
come for me because I don't feel like I've used that correctly. But you know what? Maybe he said what now we both
Well, I
need
was
to
going to
listen.
say the majority of our listeners are 30 to 55-year-old women. So, 60% of our listeners.
They thought slay was something that Santa delivered presents in. Now, Izzy.
This is my favourite.
So another thing that we want to do every week off the basis of the fact of educating each other in each other's worlds is something that we've seen, heard, or read this week.
Yeah.
One of us will bring something to the table to educate the other, but not only educate the other, but also potentially give you guys something to pick up on, whether it be a book, a film, some music.
Sink your teeth into.
Sink your teeth into, exactly.
Yeah.
So what have you seen, heard, or read this week that's taken you by fancy?
Well, I've been reading All the Broken Places by John Boyne. So this is probably not our podcast as such, but John Boyne is the author, and I reckon he's one of the greatest authors of the last 20 years who wrote The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Yep.
And All the Broken Places is the sequel to that, and it follows the life of the boy in the striped pajamas' sister, Gretel, and she's now 91 years of age, living just off Hyde Park in
Oh, wow.
England.
London.
Yeah, in London. And it talks about that each chapter bounces between her life at the moment
Yeah.
in England and then her life post-war when she ended up in France. And she spent a little bit of time in Australia as well. So it pulls apart and it goes into all different things. But what it does go into a fair bit is the psychology about people. When the war ended, how did Germans then assimilate into different countries in Europe and how difficult that was and the secrets they were hiding and psychologically, how did they live with that every day?
Okay, sweet. I might have to get started. I'm going
So it's a brilliant novel. And John Boyne, he probably has written my favourite novel of all time, The Echo Chamber.
Can I ask you just quickly, part of my ignorance here, is Boy in Striped Pajamas fictional or non-fiction?
Fictional.
Okay, it's fictional.
But has a very non-fiction
undertone.
Yeah, undertone to it.
Yeah.
And it's something that could have quite easily happened.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I love that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Now, lastly, the DMs.
Yes.
So one thing we're going to integrate into the show this season is hearing from you guys. The basis of No Utes in the Valet was Isaac and I hearing from each other. And now we want to hear from the community just to continue to grow the randomness of the chats and the self-discovery that we love on No Utes in the Valet. And so what I did...
So you got to DM our Instagram.
DM our Instagram at No Utes in the Valet.
Yeah.
But then what I did when we were pulling this episode together is I went back on our Instagram, which I haven't been on since we were at season 1. And there was actually... and there was,
come on, mate. You're running.
Oh, no, shit. But there was actually some questions in there that have been laying dormant. So I thought, let's start off with some ones that I'm sorry to Sam that I'm going to kick off because it was in there from January. But Sam said, Elliot, what is currently missing from Isaac's wardrobe that you think would improve his style?
What, just one thing?
And Isaac just answered the question for me. I can't even do it any better myself. And then...
Tom?
Yep, Tom, that was one.
Well,
I think that's for you.
But just for Sam.
Oh, just for Sam.
What could you add to my wardrobe? I'm a country sporty.
Do you know what Isaac needs in his wardrobe is he needs a really good pair of casual shoes.
Yeah.
So for the boys listening, casual shoes don't necessarily have to be expensive. They just have to be...
Not happy with these?
Oh, although in saying that, they're your new Addies. No, they're cool because we went and we did a job for Adidas over the Australian Open.
Yeah.
And we walked away with some cool kit. Actually, so you know what? Adidas, thank you. You've actually solved Isaac's problem. But boys, a good pair of casual shoes. They don't necessarily have to be expensive. They just have to be clean and current.
Yeah, clean. Oh, that's the hardest thing I find where I live, keeping casual shoes clean.
Yeah.
Even getting from the car to the house sometimes it picks up a bit of dust. But we got Tom, and this one's actually a little bit relevant because NRL, Alex Johnson scored a record-breaking try in the NRL, highest score try of all time.
Yeah.
Would you have run on the field in a similar moment? We saw Anthony Albanese run on the field and it was illegal. It was up on the screen that it's $5,000 if you run on the field. Some poor bugger got arrested and there was 10,000 people.
One person got arrested in 10,000. That's bullshit. I just feel like, psh.
I'm pretty sure. Well, we saw when Lance Franklin kicked.
Yeah, when Buddy did. I remember when Buddy did it. Was that illegal?
People took picnics out there. So Gillon McLachlan said
they didn't take picnics. What are they doing? Pulling up stumps.
Legally, Gillon McLachlan couldn't say ran out on the oval. I remember him.
Did Gillon McLachlan run out?
No, I don't think he ran out. But what he did say was,
probably sipping champagne in the box.
You should run out because it'll create for an unbelievable spectacle. And I actually played in the Buddy game where he kicked the 1,000th goal.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, which was pretty cool. I came to the bench about 10 seconds before he kicked the goal, which was great. I sat on the bench and got it was Geelong v Sydney.
Geelong Sydney, thanks.
And I got a great view of it all. Would I run on the ground? No, I'm not that type of guy. I actually would probably get more uncomfortable in that situation.
Well,
I'd sit in my seat and watch everyone do it.
Allow me to answer for myself, the common man. You have had the great privilege in your career of being on almost every iconic field in the country.
Yeah.
So I've never had the opportunity to do it. So fucking oath I'm running out there because it'll be the first and last time I ever set foot on it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Liz has asked, what app on your phone do you use the most every day? And by the way, don't use Instagram because we all use Instagram the most. That's bullshit. So what's the second most used?
Well, I would say this week it's been my Outlook app because I've been dealing with a city council and trying to get some plans done.
Don't put our listeners to sleep, mate.
And it has been
Don't
my
put our
Outlook
listeners
calendar.
to sleep.
But I would have to say my number one app is probably the ESPN app. It gives me all the live sports updates from around the world.
I'm trying to think.
What is it? Is it Bumble or?
Mate, Mitch and I have been together for a year now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what these.
I'm
apps
trying
are.
to figure out what my most used app would be. Every morning, I will open the Australian app and just have a quick flick of like the headlines. I never really actually open the articles and read any of them.
Yeah.
But I like to just kind of know what's going on in the world, and especially with the world the way it is currently. I'm like, can I fly through Qatar on the way to Italy this year, or am I changing my plans?
To go through New York. You live a tough life, don't you? I was actually listening, just to finish, I was listening to a podcast Chris Judd did the other day. And I know you'd know who Chris Judd is.
Yes.
The person interviewing him asked, and we'll finish on this, the person interviewing him asked, do you read traditional media? And he said, not really, because all articles are just advertising in some way. He was saying they pay for a lot of research out of Switzerland and the US, but none of it is associated with mainstream media, which I thought was fascinating.
I might have to get Chatty on and he can deep dive into that next time.
Well, he'd
All
be
right.
a good one, sport, fashion.
Sport and fashion.
Yeah.
Mate, we are back.
Do you reckon he owns petrol stations?
And if you're just tuning in, two unlikely mates, celebrity stylist Elliot Garno and Norm Smith medalist Isaac Smith are here to tell you what is what.
Hey, no Utes in the Valet.